All right, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to try a little something different. We're going to do an experiment here. So we've got three otherwise relatively similar 530Es. They all have zero electric charge, and we're going to try a couple different things here. So the car I'll be driving, that will be in comfort hybrid mode. I'll show you how that sets up in a moment. We have the air conditioning set at 70 degrees, auto 2 bars, and we're going to follow the speed limit as much as we can, although our limit is 5 miles per hour above. Our goal is to compare the miles per gallon between the three different modes here that we'll be testing. So the silver car here, that's going to be in battery control mode. We set it to 80% charge. It's again starting from 0 battery charge. And he's going to be in battery control just to see what the mileage is like compared to comfort mode. And then in the back over here, sport mode, the other white 530E. So we're going to make sure that we're recording everything correctly. So we're going to reset all the trip data. All right, so Neo, one of our test drivers. So we're going to reset all the trip data. You can do that in a couple of ways. First one is on that BC button here. When you're on the mileage thing here, press and hold to reset the trip data. And here we go. All right, and also going into car settings and then general settings. I'm going to scroll down to trip data. I think that's what it's called, if I remember correctly. Reset trip data. So we're going to do from the start of the trip, which is today's date, July 23rd. Go ahead and select that and reset individual. I think we are all good here. All right, so let's make sure that we start at roughly the same time. So let's turn off the vehicle and then we'll reset everything again. But that's how we're going to do that. All right, our sport driver, Benny. So we're going to reset all the trip data. So first one, yep, doing the BC button. And then on car, then settings and general settings. There is, I think, reset trip data. Yep.
Vehicle data?
Reset trip data.
Trip data. So this one's vehicle data.
Yeah, go up.
Oh,
right there. And you go from start of trip, I guess, or individual, doesn't really matter.
So reset, start of
all right,
trip.
so we're all set up here. Now, the rules that we have set up, 70 degrees on the air conditioning and auto, second bars, and we're going to be max limited to 5 miles per hour above the speed limit. We are going to use the navigation control. So we're going to navigate to Levi Stadium and then back. All right, let me get mine set up. So Leo, make sure that we're using navigation. We're going to go over to Levi Stadium and back. We're all following the same route, even though we'll be following each other. All right, hopping in my car. Let me show you. I set mine to 70 degrees in auto, second bar. Let me get to the trip data here. All right, so BC button. So I'm going to reset that one by pressing and holding. All right, and we're going to go into settings, general settings, reset trip data. All right, so it looks like we are all good. We're going to roll out just a minute. And we are going to go into driving information. Make sure that trip data. So this is where we're starting now. So we'll see you on the other side, okay? So I found with the comfort hybrid mode on, I did generate a mile of range on the freeway.
Yeah.
As soon as I got onto the city streets, it switched me to full electric.
Automatically?
Yeah, because I think it's because I have the I'm using the navigation and anticipatory hybrid drive. Right. So that means it'll generate electricity, but it'll also use it at the same time.
You saw it change, saying like all electric. Something popped up?
No, it doesn't pop up, but you can hear the engine's off and it's full electric. Okay. Now I'm back to, I've used up that range. I'm back to basically
So even though you were on regular comfort, it went up? The electric charge went up?
Yeah, because you do charge while driving. Coasting and braking
Yeah.
generate that charge.
Well, I
But
would think you're
you
just
guys
in
are-
hybrid mode.
Yeah, so let's get back going again. We'll compare data at the end of the trip.
Should we reset? No, don't reset.
No, don't
it,
reset.
right?
Keep going.
Okay.
We all stopped for roughly the same amount of time. All right, so back in the car and completed part of the journey here. We're about ready to take off again back to BMW Mountain View. I am using the navigation system, and I believe it's set up to anticipatory hybrid drive. So any electricity I generate will be used as quickly as possible. All right, so we're about ready to take off here. So I'm going to show you what we're talking about. So I felt that kick in. See on the right-hand side, there's a how much battery power you're using. So if you have any charge, you want to be below 40. Above 40, the combustion engine will kick in. And on the lower right is charging. So you can charge this car by coasting, as you can see, and then applying the brakes above 10 miles per hour will also charge the vehicle. You see, is once I hit the brakes again, not any charge yet because I'm below 10 miles per hour. Get the engine kick on. You see I was a little bit heavy on the accelerator there. But that's about it. So we're going to compare data with all the cars when we get back to...
Right at the traffic light onto Great American.
All right, so back after our trip. So based on my driving here, we did about 14 miles of round trip from dealership over to the Levi Stadium. I averaged 24.8 miles per gallon on this trip, generated or used up 1.9 miles of electric power on this one. So not bad. So let's compare it with the other cars as well. All right, so now we are in our battery control vehicle. So we're going to go to car. What we want to do is scroll up to driving information and do trip data. So roughly the same amount of miles here, just roughly 14 miles. The battery control vehicle averaged 18.8 miles per gallon, and we generated 4 miles of electricity on that short little trip here. Let's compare it to the sport mode vehicle as well. All right, so into the sport mode vehicle. So he averaged 21 miles per gallon, a little bit more because he had a slightly different route, but roughly 14 miles. And he generated 2 miles of electricity.
It became 3 right when we pulled up, but as soon as I parked,
Yeah,
it went back
because
down to 2.
you used some electricity there. All right, so that's a quick little experiment. So sport mode was the second most efficient. The comfort hybrid mode was the most efficient, a little over 23.5 miles per gallon. And the worst was the battery control, 18.8 miles per gallon, but you did generate more electricity, roughly double what the sport mode did. Yeah. So interesting results. All right, so to recap, comfort mode hybrid, the most efficient. You do generate some electricity. I roughly generated 2 miles in total range, but used it all up in comfort hybrid mode. Battery control, worst offender in terms of gas mileage, using 18.8 miles per gallon. And the sport mode was about 21 miles per gallon. That's it. So battery control does use more gas, but does generate more electric power. So when you get to your destination city, it does make a lot of sense. So you are going to save tons of time charging the vehicle. And you normally would have to do is stop and spend 3 or 4 hours to charge up the vehicle.